See how wild it is? Didn't think about that before coming on here. Anyway, it is what it is. Took a shower and did everything. I wonder what this live stream is going to be. I wonder if there's going to be actual people on this here or bots. Because I don't know. I don't know who's going to show up. But whoever they are, they need to engage with what I'm talking about. Because I don't come on these live streams and open up a gateway and a doorway for people to just chat about whatever that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. And feel free to do that on my live stream. Like, okay, if you want to do that, do it in a group chat, do it somewhere else, don't do it here. That's what happened on the last live stream. I'm not going to put up with it again. So I just wanted to come on here real quick to discuss something that has come up. I don't know who is going to be listening in to this. I do believe I've said it for public. I believe I have. I intentionally did that, so I did. I'm not seeing any viewers right now. I'm not seeing that number go up or down right. Oh, okay. Feel free to comment in the chat if you should have any stipulations or questions or, whatever. As neat as I can make my hair. I need to get better at remembering to comb my hair before I get on live streams. There. This is going to be a quieter one. I don't intend to not be self-aware when I do these live streams, but I honestly laugh at the comments that are just utterly ridiculous and nonsense and just not. Nerd alert. What do you mean, nerd alert? Saying that I'm, what do you mean by nerd alert? No idea what you mean. I have no intention of being a nerd. I mean, I am very, very smart, very, very intelligent, but I don't think that, one person in the comments was very, very insulting to me. Basically saying that I look nerd and that I shouldn't do videos and shouldn't present myself because I'm too young, too weird, and that I should focus on not posting and actually be of use to my family or whatever. And I took it very, very personally. And we had a back and forth conversation that was it wasn't going anywhere. And I questioned myself, was this person a bot? Was this person a real person? That's what I honestly questioned myself. So I'm going to just hold this up for a moment. So I can adjust my glasses. Now, I can do whatever I want. Not obligated to cater to anyone. That live stream, or excuse me, that comment, I did a video on, and that's the last video comment that I will do a video on, because I'm not going to take what people say so personally to me. I mean, I am going to respond back to whatever comments, because I can't tell if there are bots or if they're humans. But, I will not take it so personally. I will not let it get to me. Says that song, A Song for You, that I posted back in March on my channel in my Music Forever Cardi podcast. And I took that very, very personally. shouldn't have taken it so personally. I really shouldn't have. Anyway, I don't want to spend too long on this because and I question myself, why am I even on here? I should be watching Lydia Zedley right now, Lydia Bastianich right now. And I plan to do that after I'm done. And I plan to just take away from everything. And I want to read my book, and I want to do my oracle cards. And I want to. There's so many things I want to do that I'm not allowing myself that. And I barely allow myself to do much of anything more. Overdoing, overworking. And I do understand very, very well that we are human beings and we are not human doings. We are not meant to always produce. So I have not been the best in living up to that, and I will try to live up to it if I feel like, okay, I don't have to waste my energy, spend my energy doing this. I can do something else. I don't need to do this right now. Unless, of course, I get that feeling like, oh, I just gotta come on and do a video. Like, I can't not make the video. Like today, this afternoon, it's like, I want to make this video on the 12 signs for Venus and Leo, which is premiering on my channel right now, I do believe. I'm doing good. Sylvia. So that video, if you want to check it out, is being premiered on my channel right now for all 12 signs. Venus and Leo, and Venus and Leo is really about fun and play, expressing from the heart, and I go through how each every sign will be impacted and what they need to know in terms of a prescriptive reading, not a predictive reading, with things to think about. Like I give you things to think about for each and every sign that is really helping them to evolve into the best and highest versions of who they are and who they need to be in this lifetime to really evolve. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate anyone who comes in on and subscribes. It really does mean a lot. One little subscribe, one little push towards 1,000 subscribers, a push towards when I can monetize my channel and do all that. And I hope to get there as soon as possible. I wonder if YouTube's algorithm with the AI right now, with what it does, the AI facilitating the YouTube algorithm. If it is keeping small channels from growing, which I hope it's not keeping my channel from growing. I just feel like I put in 1,000 steps and the gods just take a couple steps toward me, as opposed to I put one, with a law is you put one foot in front of, you take one step towards the gods and they take 10 steps towards you. I'm taking the 10 steps and they're putting in the one step in terms of my channel growing. Whereas this one content creator who started at the same time that I did, has surprisingly gotten so popular, and I just don't like his sort of cool guy in the kitchen vibe. It's just a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit, overrated for me, why he has gotten so popular all of a sudden over, over 200,000 subscribers in just less than 2 years, which is crazy and insane. And I started this channel August of 2024. Technically, I didn't start on YouTube at that point. I started in, let me think, when did I start? October 2021. And when I started October 2021, I was on the channel for, but my eyes are brown. I started my channel back in 2021, and I stopped at the beginning of 2024 because, well, I promoted my channel and it all blew up all of a sudden. And then I uploaded something really inappropriate for reasons I won't go into. It actually was and why I did it. I didn't know what I was doing, and other reasons such as computer difficulties and stuff like that. So I don't know. Anyway, I could go on about that, but back to my main point that I was making prior to this. So that video is premiering on my channel right now, so you can go check it out. But what I wanted to come on here and talk about, because I usually come on here with the intention of discussing something, and hopefully the comments that I get will be receptive to that. Hope and praying, because the last time it certainly wasn't that. Just set it down here, and then I'll just have everything set up, and I'll see the comments come through as I'm doing it here. What? You know what? The very irony of this is... Okay. Oh, wow. I was watching a video last night by two people that I follow who talk about getting off their phones for a good amount of the day and taking a break. And what have I been doing when I've been on my phone all day? Well, I've not been the best at that. So I will consider that and have a wake-up call to myself and go, okay, I need to change this. It would be good to change this. Quite honestly, a part of me wants to be doing other things right now, but then the other part of me wanted to come on and talk about this. So I have no idea what you mean by Palestine sucks. I hope it's not a racist remark to those of that race and ethnicity and culture. We shouldn't be against any culture, and we shouldn't deem a whole culture for just making it all bad, because nothing is all, well, we can't just say this country is all bad. It has to be also, well, certain people do bad things. But just to make a statement like that is just random, and I don't know how to apply this here, and I just, I don't know. I don't know. I think that was very ego driven written statement there. Ego is what I would describe that as being. So, what I wanted to chat about is something that I have been grappling with, and I want to tie it into the astrology, because these are what these live streams are. I did a video on my Real Me podcast the other day, and it was about uncertainty. Certainty, living a life of certainty. And my big point was uncertainty keeps you from peace, keeps you from living a stable life, keeps you from feeling stable, feeling centered, feeling grounded, feeling connected to your soul, to your inner peace. And I made that statement, like, change your thinking so that it will work. But when I did that episode, I was mad, and it felt right at the time to look at how things can be absolutely certain, sure and certain, sure and certain, with how videos are recorded, and if videos will publish, and technological problems is basically what I was getting at. And today when I did my video this morning, my Venus and Leo video, what was I going to say? I was deluding myself because I was not sure whether or not my truth about this being absolutely certain is the real truth, or if it is an unlikelihood that maybe there would be a chance that it wouldn't work out so well, that if I pressed stop, the file wouldn't save in my audio files, and I wouldn't be able to see it in my audio files, because it happened one time. Once. Once. No new comments. Once. One time. I was doing a video and I stopped it, and then it didn't give me the option to title the video, and then it just showed nothing. I didn't know what happened. It was just a blip, a glitch, fluke, whatever. And it really, during this whole Pluto retrograde is what I'm talking about. Any little thing that you are compartmentalizing, any part that could easily be compartmentalized and ignored and put under the surface and not acknowledged. Any part of you that you can just release and ignore and focus on the present moment and focus on something else, those small things come up. Use your conscious awareness to where you have to look at them and address them and be honest with yourself about them. It's really, really broke me up. And I hope tomorrow, when I do my thing tomorrow on the new moon in Gemini, the insecurity of it not working won't come up, and then I'm grappling with that insecurity. I don't know. I don't want to feel insecure when I do my videos, but Pluto retrograde right now is pulling all this stuff up to my conscious awareness. Pluto retrograde is saying it forces your Pluto retrograde okay. This is where I have to draw the line because I do not appreciate comments like this. Are you? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. What can I do to this kind of comment? Oh, can I remove this? Huh. I can remove it. Let me see if I can remove this. Huh. I did. I can remove this. I removed it. I do not appreciate comments like that. And any comment, wow, I clicked on the thing and it was like, remove. I'm doing that because, it's not my thing that I'm removing. Wow. I do not appreciate comments like that. Comments where they say, you're gay, or are you gay, or you give off the vibe of being gay. Okay, wow, that's pretty low vibration. You cannot make assumptions about people based off of the way that they talk. I'm not here to disclose any sexual orientation. I'm not even here to go there in my life at all, because I'm done with that, because my South Node is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is sex. I'm done with all the sexual stuff in my life. I'm just done with it. And I don't appreciate when people bring that back. Bring back all the places that I've been where I have been so nosy into getting in others' business because of certain feelings of attraction that I have that is really none of my business to get involved there. And it's also none of my business to tell any of you. And it's certainly not your business to ask those kind of questions like, are you gay? Are you this sexual orientation? I didn't appreciate that at all. And I don't, it was like, no. Those kind of comments, no. We don't, you don't get on a live stream with people, with somebody doing a live stream, and you don't ask this kind of questions to somebody on a live stream. That's just wrong. That's just wrong to ask about their sexual orientation. I don't want to even consider my sexual orientation, nor do I want anyone to go there, so don't go there, because it's none of your business, if I didn't make that clear enough already. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about uncertainty and dealing with the astrology going on right now. Okay, this is, obviously, yeah. I know that you're probably in your teenage years watching. It's probably around the ages of 13 to 15 years old, and probably, maybe younger, 8 to 12 years old, I'm thinking. 7 years old, potentially. And saying that. I'm guessing. Because I think that if you were older, you wouldn't be making those kind of comments. And I don't respect this kind of comment as well. So boom, done. And then hello from Russia. Okay, permission to remove messages. That's my live stream. And if you're going to comment that, then I'm going to remove the messages. Not every message, because I want comments, but the kind of comments that ask about sexual orientation are not acceptable on any of my live streams. I don't appreciate a complete stranger asking me and saying that I am gay or whatever, because if I am, then I want to keep that private, and I don't want to disclose that information. There's certain things I don't want to disclose, and I think that a part of me is really, really looking at myself like, what do I want to expose on my Real Me podcast, and what do I want to keep private? And I will not just bow down to people on live streams and say, oh, thank you, you think I'm cute or whatever. Or, that I am this. I'm not going to be inauthentic on my live streams, and I'm not going to just give you what you want for you who you are who commented that. I'm not going to give you what you want when it comes to answering that question which you sent to me, which will not fly on this live stream. So refrain from that. Uncertainty, going back to what I was saying about uncertainty. Pluto is retrograde. And if you do not transform, Pluto forces your hand. It forces your hand to transform. Forces your hand. Sort of pulls you right down into the underworld. That's what Pluto does. Pulls you down into the underbelly of what's going on, and forces you to look at what you're afraid to see. Forces you to face the shadows that you're afraid to face. Forces you to look at that insecurity, that feeling of anxiety, that limiting belief, that peace that you're not facing that you're denying. And usually it's something with Pluto that you're resisting. Because with Pluto, you resist the thing until you don't resist it. Because if there's one thing I've learned with Pluto retrograde, and I think this is a saying that should go all across Pluto retrograde and all the ways of being, is what resists persists. And it takes a lot of courage and humility to come to terms with the way that things are and the shadows that need integration. And Pluto retrograde demands that you integrate all that you need to integrate. I have videos on Pluto retrograde in my Cosmic Sky podcast. You can check those out. Those are deep dive videos, which I did back last month around the time that Pluto went retrograde. May 10th and 11th, I did those videos. When I did the collective reading for Pluto retrograde, and I did for all 12 signs. Hello from Russia. Oh, you broke my heart. I'm gonna What? Are you being sarcastic? Is that meant to be a sarcastic comment? Is that supposed to be sarcastic? Girl no play, I believe. Is it supposed to be a sarcastic comment in my direction? Like, when I say that comment, you know what I picture you? I picture you fake crying, like mocking crying. Like in a mocking kind of tone. Like I think that comment is very like you're mocking what you're saying and me in general. Well, I'm just saying the truth. And I'm standing up for my own self, and I'm not going to accept those kind of things. So I think that is very childish to say those kind of comments like, oh, I'm going to cry, you broke my heart, or whatever. I just think that the level of just ignorance and immaturity just comes right through the gate with that kind of thing. And I do not appreciate those kind of comments and individuals who act in that kind of way on my live streams. So that goes right out the window. Back to the matter at hand that I was talking about. Pluto retrograde, I have videos on it. And it brings you right into the shadows. Like the myth of Pluto is based on this myth of, I think, Persephone. I'm not exactly familiar, but Persephone bringing you down into the underworld, into like the ground cracks and breaks, and you just get right down to the underworld, and you're down there, and you're eating pomegranates or whatever, and you're with Pluto, you're spending half the year up in the above land where everything is very, very light and beautiful and abundant and thriving, and it's Taurus and Scorpio is the underworld. Very dark, very deep sort of state of being with the underworld. That's what it can be, is the underworld. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So the Taurus-Scorpio axis, we have to find a balance between Taurus and Scorpio together. Are we going to be in the light, in the abundance, in the values, in the good, in the earthly realm, or we're going to be too far into the other extreme, which is the dark, deep, shadowy undercurrents of what is going on, that kind of realm. So it is. We're not neglecting either end of the Taurus-Scorpio axis. We are finding a balance in between that axis. So, it's a tall order for Pisces North Node, Scorpio North Node, because they are asked to basically be okay with uncertainty. And something that I will disclose to you is that back in 2022 and 2023, when I was in my OCD phase, the way of getting over that is to take care of it once and detach and trust that it's fine, even if you don't entirely believe it. And being okay with being uncomfortable and being uncertain, not giving back into that. Being okay with the feeling of discomfort and not always needing to check and not always needing to go back and fix and not always needing to go back and deal with it again. Configure the issue going around here. And Uranus is also square the node. So the south node is past patterns, what you're leaving behind. And this sort of hamster wheel, like the south node is the hamster wheel of what you're used to over and over and over again. And it's in Virgo right now. The thing with Virgo south node is it craves certainty. It needs absolute certainty, the list to be followed, the plans to be followed, absolute control over this earthly realm. It needs everything to work in a perfect systematic function according to a schedule, according to a timetable, according to everything working the way that it absolutely should. And then the North Node in Pisces says, guess what? The universe doesn't work that way. The North Node in Pisces is about surrendering the need for certainty and control and trusting in the invisible, trusting in the unknown. Understanding that going with the flow, and even if it doesn't work out, even if your plans go awry and they don't happen the way that you pictured, and everything just falls away from your life, the plans that you made, it's for your highest good, and you will be, the wisdom that, I was talking to my mom about this, and the wisdom that I have to give you from our conversation was that the only certainty is that you will be fine no matter what goes on, because you are all, I trust, resilient individuals to trust that when you go through hard times or when things don't go the way you plan, it's always for your highest good. Because the universe is always operating for your highest good. And so that's what Pisces North Node is learning, is that the universe has your back. And when things don't go as you intended, then there's a higher plan, there's a higher reason. And it's about understanding that and surrendering to that. Getting out of the like, oh, it's so hard because you're being asked to let go of logic and certainty and the mind and control. It's a hard placement, Pisces North Node, because you're being asked to lean into your intuition, lean into the part of you that is not based on logic. And if you're so caught in that logic, in that tendency of mapping things out, having a backup plan for the backup plan, and doing all this kind of things like that, and having all your ducks in a row, having all this kind of things like that, then it's going to be hard to trust in the invisible and the intuition. But my mom is a Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node, so there you go. So the nodes are squaring Uranus right now. Or Uranus is squaring the nodes. And Uranus in the North Node is what we're being asked to develop and move towards and lean towards. Is there any new comments on this live stream? Okay, no new comments. So The North Node is what we're being asked to move towards, to step into, to evolve into. And the North Node in Pisces is spirituality. It is trusting in, as I said, the forces that we cannot see, and understanding. And the fact is that in life, nothing is an exact guarantee. Technology is not an exact guarantee. There's no exact guarantee that you will walk across from one side of your house to another and not trip. The fact of the matter is, you know, and this has taken me a while to accept and understand. But what are the odds that you're going to trip, that you're going to, and Pluto will ask you to face certain truths that you're afraid to face. Pluto retrograde will ask you to face these certain truths. So what are the odds that you're going to trip? What are the odds that something bad is going to happen, that it's not going to work out? Pretty low. But the odds of it working out is fine. It's you know, it's you know, a lot. So that's what we have to trust and know. And nothing is certain. Releasing this attachment to things being certain, to things being absolutely 100% mapped out for us. Because if we're so attached to the map, that map is going to crumple up and get thrown away from our faces if we are not tapping into our intuition, and if we are not trusting the universe. Guess what's going to happen to that map? It's just not going to work for us anymore, because it's based off of this old idea of certainty. The map can be well written out, but you never know. There may be road construction on that road. There may be all these things along the way which you didn't plan for. That's why it's important to be flexible, to have flexible plans. That's why it's so important not to be attached to going on vacations or going places, because you have all these plans. But if you overplan and get the ego attachment to that, then you know, just don't have too high of expectations, and let go of the need for certainty. Have the plan, be proactive, take action, but then be in the uncertainty of it. Easier said than done. I know. Just be willing for change. Just be willing for growth. Just be willing for things that don't go as you planned them to for them to go, and release your expectations for Christmas and your birthday and Thanksgiving. Because if you release your expectations for those 3 holidays, you'll find a lot of contentment in your life. The reason why people get so depressed around Christmas and you know, they blow this up to be this big thing, this big extravagant thing, that it's all going to be wonderful, it's all going to be great, everything's going to be perfect, and every plan is going to get fulfilled. And well, when things don't work out, you get very, very depressed. And there's this analysis paralysis, this fear, this anxiety that if it's not going to be perfect, if everything is not going to be followed through the exact way that I mapped it out, why bother doing it? And so then you get into depression, and then you don't want to do it. And then you feel very, very negatively about the holiday. I mean, I could easily stop doing my podcast because of all the stuff that I've had to process and all the fears that I have and not doing episodes, but I still persist because I have a commitment in my mind. I have a dedication and a discipline to do these episodes. And it's perfectionistic. That's what it is. It is expecting yourself to feel a certain way over over uh um doing something, experiencing something. And I think that when we are so set with needing it to happen a certain way, what was I saying? I think when what do I want to say here? What was I going to say? Anyway, you know, when we have the expectation that we're going to feel a certain way, it holds us back. And we just expect ourselves to be in this perfect state of being, this perfect state of mind, feel perfectly about this, think perfectly, feel perfectly. I must feel this, I must be thinking this, perfectionism. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to do perfectionism in my life. I mean, when I create songs, the creativity is just going to flow, and anything that doesn't feel right in the song will be cleaned up, but everything else will be left alone. I will not be with the critics who will say, oh, you must do this, or like clean this up, or change this. No, I don't want to do that because that's perfecting the song, and that's like when you're in perfectionism, it kills creativity. You're getting rid of the authenticity and the creativity and the integrity of what you have created. Because you're trying to clean it up, you're trying to make it better, it's getting rid of the beauty of it, the natural quality of it. So notice when you are dropping into your very soul and saying, you know what, I could change that, do that. But then when you become so obsessed with, oh, this is not right, oh, this is not right, well, you better be careful, because if you go down that path, and if you get on that bandwagon, it's very, very difficult to get off of it. And so don't get on the bandwagon, because the bandwagon is going to bring you into a fiery furnace of just fire and smoke and coal and monsters and all the negative stuff if you do not have the awareness to stop before you even engage in perfectionism. Catch yourself and say, I'm not going to engage in perfectionism. I'm not. Nope. No. I'm not going to do it. Not going to allow myself to engage in that. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're back. Glad that you're watching this. So, no. So, I think that we have to just accept what we're feeling when we face the truths that we need to face, and don't expect ourselves to feel a certain way. Just let loose and relax. I know that it's very, very difficult. I know that it's not the way that you want to feel, because there's this need for certainty, there's this need for security, there's this need for peace and all that. But it will move through you. It will go away eventually. This is just a rough patch right here and right now, and it will go away eventually. It will dissipate eventually. It will be alleviated eventually. And you won't be in this feeling right now. Like right now, there's a lot of water in the sky, and there's a lot of emotional energy where I am in this insecurity, in this uncertainty of, and those two things are linked, by the way, insecurity and uncertainty. And it's just not expecting yourself to feel totally good when you do videos, to feel totally energetic. Because the fact is, you're not going to be the same person that you were in one video as you were in another. You're not going to be in the same mood. You're not going to feel the same way. So you just have to just stop expecting yourself to feel the same way every time. To have the same energy, to have the same creativity, whatever. Just stop. Because that is a battle that is not worth fighting and competing against. That is a battle that is not worth fighting and just an uphill battle. And guess what? It's never going to be perfect. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So just let go. Let go. Let go of perfectionism qualities. Let go of the need for certainty. Let go of all the Virgo shadows. Uranus is squaring it, which is change bringer. It brings sudden change. Anything that you're refusing to look at and acknowledge and go towards, it will bring about change. Uranus will bring about change and disruption to your life if need be to move you on a path of that kind of thing. And this aspect says that to just have every control factor toward what your soul wants is half the battle, but the other half is allowing the spirit, the North Node and Pisces, because after all, we are talking about the North Node and Pisces, to be open to whatever the universe has to provide us. And when we can surrender the process and be okay with being uncomfortable and trust and know that nothing is certain and stop expecting yourselves to feel a certain way about everything that we're doing. Like I could wake up tomorrow morning and do a video and then have this insecurity bubbling inside of me. But at least I wasn't denying it. At least I faced the truth about it. And that may be something that I will need to just move through within myself. And that may be there for, I don't know, several weeks or whatever. But everything is temporary. And so if you're in a really, really dark, depressed place with you're not doing things in the way that you used to be, you're not doing things in the right way, you're not doing things in the most secure, happy, creative, fun, relaxed way that you used to be, it's only temporary. It will go away. It won't be, like forever. Like in August, I could be not feeling this way. Very, very likely I couldn't be feeling this way. Thank goodness I'm having this realization and awareness now before the Mercury retrograde happening end of June through July. That's going to be wow. Talk about, I would tell you, stay at home. Stay at home, review the things that you need to do in your home, go inside yourself at the time of dropping in, all that kind of stuff. So, and the North Node in Scorpio is like, letting go of having these material possessions and having the certainty of things always be there and let go of that and be open to change and transformation. So that whole contemplation goes in with that as well. And, oh, hello again. From a couple of days ago. Okay. I'm done with my contemplation. I'm done with my spiel now. I just want to tell you that I hope that that's not going to happen again, where you are engaging with others on a live stream and just not engaging with what I'm saying. You can reassure yourselves. You can talk to yourself about things related to what's going on here if you want. You can talk amongst yourself, but to talk about something totally unrelated. I mean, obviously, I will be involved in it, and I will see that, and I will approve of it because it's related to what I'm talking about. But to just be in a whole nother conversation, like a group chat, and just don't use these live streams as an excuse for having a group chat with your other, individuals. So I hope that I hope that you're going to refrain from that in future and stand up and say, no, we're not going to do this. This is Everett's live stream. We're not going to talk amongst ourselves. It's wrong. Let's just stop the conversation and let's actually talk about this on another platform, in another setting, in another way, not here, because it's not appropriate here. So next time that happens, stand up and have the activation energy to say, no, I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to look at what I have done, and I'm going to do my part to change this and improve this because it's the right thing to do. So anyway, I thought that I would just come on here and talk about all this. I'm going to get off now. You will see me again tomorrow, probably only one video tomorrow. Plus my short that comes out every single day. Well, I've done a lot of videos today. Wow. Short 2 podcast episodes, and that's a lot in one day. That is a lot of videos. So, and I am allowed to say that because it's my channel, and so, that's kind of my thought thinking. So, I am avid, I am prolific, that's who I am. So tomorrow will be the collective look at the new moon in Gemini for everybody, for the collective, dealing with the themes and the energetics and astrology of that new moon, which I will be discussing in depth. And then I believe on Wednesday I'll be getting to the 12 signs. I do believe, because I have work tomorrow. And I will not feel motivated to end Wednesday now, so I will do the videos probably separate days. Any requests, any mentioning of potentially having a podcast episode together with this potential person that I'm working with will go out the window, because guess what? No. Okay, no, I have to draw the line. My answer is no. You asked for my consideration. My answer is no. I don't feel comfortable having you on my podcast, on my channel, because I don't like your content, because I've said my piece and said my opinions about you already on another episode, and you're not the kind of person that I want on my channel, on my podcast, even though you are right for me and you are aligned with my values and we do have a lot in common. Your content proves to be the exact opposite of that. So, no. So let's hope that does not get brought up and stirred up tomorrow or Wednesday. Anyway, I've got to get off now. Bye for now, unless there's any other comments. So anyway. Bye for now.